Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and on this podcast I talk about ways for you to grow in your life and your business to make more money, live the life of your dreams, and reach your goals faster. If you're a coach, if you're a trainer, and you want to know, how do I make more money? Like my client Joshua, he just made $50,000 this past week in his business. Like my client Rick, who did over $1 million this month. I want to show you as a coach or trainer how you can do the same. And it's not rocket science. Even if you just want to make an extra $2,000, $5,000 a month, this works. These strategies work at the beginning and all the way to the top, but you're not going to get there until you apply them. And this is the biggest thing that I see that stops a lot of entrepreneurs is how they make their decisions, how they live their life, how they choose to go about their day. And I'm gonna keep this 100 with you. I'm gonna say some stuff that might come across harsh today. So let's put on our big girl and big boy pants and realize that this is based off of thousands of people that I've worked with, and the biggest things that separate the ones that fail from those that succeed. And if you can get these things, there's not a whole lot of them, you will start to see more results in your business. Number one thing that I see that business owners, when they get started, that they do is they complain in the beginning. I don't have enough time. My kids, my family, my responsibilities, my stuff at church, or I don't have enough money. I'm not making enough money to be able to get these systems or sign up for this coaching program or do that. Or my life is in too much chaos, too much disarray for me to do that. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the day, you get to choose how much money you make. Yeah, you do. And I need you to believe that. I need you to realize that you are 100% in control of how much money you make. You're not a victim. Okay? If you want to increase the money you make, you can sell stuff. You can go do some other things temporarily to make money. You're not a victim. If you think that you're a victim, you're always going to be a victim to how much money you have. And the amount of money that you have is going to be the controlling system in your life. The number in your bank account is going to be your master and commander. Until you decide to have control over how much is in that bank account. It's a decision. And it starts by you believing that you're worth making the kind of money that you want to make. That it's a good thing for you to make that much money. And that it's time for you to start believing that you can. Okay? The other thing is that we got to have boundaries. Priorities, time management, I don't have enough time, is usually because we're saying, yes, I'll do that. I'm going to do that. I have to do that, to too many things that we don't really need to do. Because we've always done them, and because not doing them produces some kind of guilt in our lives. Okay? And so learning to say no to stuff, even if it's painful, even if you feel guilty, even if other people rip into you and tell you that you're a bad person for not doing them. You're going to have to choose what you're going to do and then start building your business with that time. Especially if your funds are low. Especially till you can start to hire some people. And there's resources like onlinejobs.ph that you can use to hire people to help you build your business. And that last one, oh, my life is too chaotic. I'm telling you, the more money you make, your life is going to get more chaotic. Don't think that it's going to suddenly get calm, and that once it's calm, you can go up. The higher you go, the less calm it is. So you got to learn to operate in the chaos instead of waiting until it's all in order. It's a fairy tale to think that sitting around waiting to have more money, to have more time, and to have more order, and waiting until you finally have this going on is going to help you build your business. Because that day isn't going to come until you choose that those three things, time, money, and chaos, are not your controllers in life. That they are not your boss. That the amount of time you have is not the dictating factor of your ability to make money. That the amount of money you have is not the dictating factor of you being able to build your business and make money. That the less or more order or chaos there is in your life is not the dictating factor of you being able to make more money. And that you start to build with what you got even when it's uncomfortable. Even when you feel like, man, I wish it should be this way. It's all supposed to be this way. Yeah, great, awesome, it is, but it's not. So you're going to wait another 5 to 10 years till it is? Unfortunately, that's what most of you who are going to listen to this podcast are going to do. How do I know that? I know that from the data of working with thousands of people, because that is literally what most people do, is they will hear exactly what I'm saying, in one ear, out the other, ignore it, and for some reason, they have the conviction that Christians do about Jesus Christ dying on the cross and rising from the dead, that it's not these things, and that someday magical fairy dust is going to fall down in their life, and they're going to have perfect order and enough money and enough time by doing nothing. By waiting and then finally doing when it feels good. That they're going to finally step out of the boat and take a leap of faith when the waters are calm. I'm sorry, you got to step out of the boat when the waters are rough. It's the only way that you can succeed. And so getting this mindset down is important. Figuring out, why is this controlling you? What beliefs have come in that have told you that you can't prioritize things or you're a bad person? That you have to wait until you have a certain amount of money or you're a bad steward of your finances? That things need to be perfect and in order or you're going to be unsafe and things aren't going to work out. Whatever taught you those lies, whoever taught you that, maybe it was your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, a mentor sometime. Whoever taught you that, I'm telling you, I've been around amazing mentors that have made millions of dollars, and they all say the same thing. And every single broke person I meet, you want to know what they say? Well, Jeremiah, you're just generalizing. It's not always that way for everybody. Honestly, a lot of people, they just need to wait. They just need to wait. Great, stay broke with that mindset. Because literally, that mindset will keep you broke until you change it. Until you decide that in the midst of hell going on in your life that you're going to do stuff. Stop waiting for perfection to come. Stop waiting for it all to be sunshine and rainbows to start doing what you need to do. And start building your business with the resources, with the time, with the energy, with the knowledge that you have right now. Instead of being afraid of messing up, making mistakes, or it not working out. Instead of letting the fear of things not going how you want and being such a freaking control freak, literally, that's what it is. It's being such a control freak over everything in your life that you won't do anything until you got total, absolute power, control. It's ridiculous. And yet this is what most entrepreneurs in the beginning do and operate. Deep inside of them, they won't do anything until it's all perfect. Until they got the perfect number in their bank account. Now I can finally do it. That number's never going to freaking come, my friends. Until you start doing something. Until you start getting into an environment to learn and to grow and to start building your business instead of letting the lack of knowledge, lack of skill, lack of time, lack of money control and dictate the level of success that you can have in life. You have the power to not let those things be the God in your life. Literally, they become idols in our lives that we bow down and worship. It's like this idol that we're like, yes, lack of time, you are my master. Lack of time, give me more time, and I will finally do what I should. Bowing down to an idol. Lack of money, you shall have total control over my life. Lack of money, once I have enough money, thou shalt give me blessings. Seriously, that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. It's idolatry. Worshiping your situation. And it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not. Oh, God of perfect order, come. Give me all my blessings. God of no chaos, come. This is literally what people are doing. Hoping that one day in fairy tale Disneyland, Magic Dust, Mickey Mouse world, things will change without doing anything. Or the things they're doing are not changing. They're not growing their business. Because for some reason they've convinced themselves, I have to do these things first. You don't have to do anything first. You have to do something. Get it out of your head that there's a perfect order that things need to go in. Get it out of your head that if you don't do things perfectly, you're going to fail. And that failure is the worst thing in the world. In fact, making mistakes and failure is the best thing that you can do. If you're not failing on a regular basis, you are literally not doing enough. You're not. If you're not constantly having failure after failure after failure after failure, you are not doing enough. And you are the only person in control of that. Because you're too afraid of not being in control. Too afraid of not looking perfect to people. Too afraid of appearing less than. And you've convinced yourself that you're not good enough right now to do it. You have everything inside of you right now to succeed. Start believing that. Start telling yourself that. Start believing in yourself. The level of self-esteem that you have in your life is what's going to change things. And I don't care who told you that you were worthless. Stop replaying this tape and the memory of what other people have told you in your life. That you're not good enough. That you need to be a certain way in order to start building your business. The only thing you need to do is do something. And the something that you should do should not have anything to do with being better. Getting better, becoming more good enough. You're already good enough how you are right now, today, even if you don't feel like it. And so start taking action, even when you feel that imposter syndrome, instead of self-sabotaging and waiting until all the little pieces come together perfect for you. If you're in my Client Growth Accelerator, you can learn step by step by going through the courses and hopping on the training calls, the group coaching calls, what you need to do. I don't have time to do that. It's your choice what you choose to do, when you choose to do it. Are you going to keep letting your excuses be God in your life and dictate everything about what you can and can't do? Or are you going to get up and actually start to do something? The choice is yours. It makes me exhausted and saddened to see people with so much potential say, well, once I get my money in order, then I'll start doing something. And they've been saying the same thing for 7 years. I know a guy, he's on his 10th year of the same stinking excuse. And then I have a client who in less than 6 months is making over $100K a month. By doing something. When he started 6 months ago, it wasn't working at $100K a month. It only did $5K. Then 15, then 30. Have a client doing $1 million a month. It started by doing something and taking action imperfectly and not being afraid of needing to be in a certain place, needing to be good enough, needing to have your life in order a certain way and in total control for you to feel safe inside. That lack of safety usually comes from trauma. Usually comes from somewhere in your past you were taught that if things aren't a certain way, bad stuff happens. and you're living your life based off of that belief, letting the situation of your past run you, you have to reprogram your brain. I had to work with a therapist to do this. I had to get some professional help to do this. Some people need to get help to do this. Instead of us living on an island trying to be a lone wolf. Oh, here's the fourth one of the worst things. Entrepreneurs, they don't ask for help. They think that they need to do it all on their own or it's not good enough. That if they ask for help, they're somehow worth less as a person, and that their results are worth less by getting help. Because for whatever reason, usually high school, teenage years, that if you needed help with something, you were bullied or told that you were not as good enough of a person and made to feel guilty for the fact that you needed help. And then they're business owners that literally, they have opportunities. They literally buy packages of one-on-one coaching with me and don't schedule calls. And yet have access to being able to get the help they need and refuse to because of their own pride and ego. Refuse to. And when I ask, they say, oh, I'm getting my stuff in order, getting my stuff going on. I'm sorry, but you've been saying the same thing for years. When is it gonna happen? It's eventually gonna happen. No, it's not. So you gotta get out of the boat, do what's uncomfortable, get started, start doing it, even before you feel ready to, and just be willing to make a mess and have fun along the way. Instead of attaching so much, putting it on a pedestal. I need the perfect life before I can get started. It's ridiculous. It is. Start doing something. Ask for help. Ask for guidance instead of being so prideful that you gotta keep it into yourself. That you gotta never get anybody to help you because for some reason you feel like you're less of a human being for needing help. Whoever lied to you and taught you that, I'm sorry that they completely effed you up for the rest of your life. Yeah, I said that. I said the F word. They completely screwed you up for the rest of your life. Usually it's people that love us too. And if they knew the damage that they're doing, and how do I know that they're doing damage? Because I've seen it with thousands of people. It's the same thing every time. And yet there's people right now listening to this podcast who are going to get mad at me for what I'm saying, for what I've just said. And one day they'll get it. For those that finally do get it, they're going to start to see some results. And that's what I'm excited about. I care so much to help people get results and to not patty cake around. I don't want people paying me money in my coaching program just to be in a kumbaya club. I want people that are going to be taking action, even if it's not perfect. Be willing to fail. Be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to do something just to see what happens. Be willing to experiment. Be willing to test. Instead of trying to wait until this almighty perfect day where they finally have it all figured out and then they can do something. The day is never going to come. It's time for you to start with what you have in front of you. Give it your best shot. Stop complaining. Stop comparing yourself to other people and thinking that you have to be where they're at to get started. They started where you're at. Every single one of them did. The only difference is they didn't sit around and wait till they were where they are to start. They started with what they had every time. And that's what produces results, my friends. Take action now. Stop waiting. If you're ready to jump into a community of people that are taking action and to stop making excuses, then I'd love to have you in the Client Growth Accelerator. I'd love to help you make $20,000 a month, $50,000, $100,000 a month in the program. Or even if you just want to make your first $2,000 to $5,000 a month, how would that change your life? I'd love to help you do that. Jump in over at jeremykrakowski.com/accelerator and let's start making you money and help you get rich. Talk soon. Have a good one.